Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to YCB sessions. Yesterday, we were discussing about the different gurus and lineage which is related to the Yoga Vil Parampara. So, we discussed about Patanjali Maharshi. Today, we will be going through some other great gurus who are in our Yoga lineage. Let me share my screen. One of them is Sir Aurobindo or Sri Aurobindo. So Aurobindo Ghosh, he is known as a great yoga philosopher as well as he is a great yogi and poet. He was born in Kolkata on 15th August 1872. At the age of 7, he was sent to London for studies. You might have all heard about it. If you have gone to Pondicherry, there if you have seen the meditation center Aurovilla, you might have learned about Sir Aurobindo. So Aurobindo's main focus was on philosophical structures, philosophical scriptures. And in 1903, he went to Kasi where he experienced the presence of Brahman. And that place is known as Suleiman. I could not find out whether it is true or false, but the name was something different. And in 1904, he used to do yogic exercises. And in 1908, he met a Maharashtrian yogi named Vishnu Bhaskar Lele. And after becoming a disciple of him, he was successful in winning his manas. Manas in the sense, he was able to concentrate, he was able to do meditation. At one point, when he was when he was practicing meditation, he found that he was able to see God. He was able to visualize himself above his time and above his space. So he was able to find out and experience bliss, ecstasy, after following the path of Vishnu Bhaskar Lele. And after a few days, he was also under the influence of Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, Swami Vivekananda, and also Swami Dayananda Saraswati. So it is not that he is only the disciple of Vishnu Bhaskar. He was also under the teachings. That means he was also going through the thought process of all the three legendaries, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, Swami Vivekananda, and Dayananda Saraswati. And at one point, he found that he is losing his spirituality, and then he wanted to go through all the Vedic books. He started again reading the books and propagating whatever he was reading from the Vedas to the common people with his experiences. And he also interpreted Bhagavad Gita according to the Vedas. Interpreted in the sense, he has gone through Bhagavad Gita and he wrote some commentaries on Bhagavad Gita also. After going through this Bhagavad Gita, he founded the ashram in Pondicherry, which is exclusively for spirituality. So if one wants to master spirituality, we can go to Pondicherry ashram. And this was opened after he was he came in touch with a French lady known as Sri Ma. Okay, this lady, she was in Pondicherry. So after the Nirvana final journey, after Aurobindo has passed away, the lady Sri Ma was taking the responsibilities of the ashram, and she is serving now. I'm not sure whether she is still available or still alive or not. So this is about Aurobindo. So at the end, what we want to learn from Aurobindoji is that the philosophy of the Aurobindo main two things: Chetana in the sense consciousness. Consciousness means we should be awake and we should be aware what is happening in the world. If there is no Chetana, that means if we don't know awareness, and if we can't experience awareness, we can't step ahead in any of the path, whether it is a spiritual path, whether it is a professional path. So the Chetana consciousness should always be in our mind. So this Chetana, he equated it to power. Okay? And he says that there is only unique and only one Chetana, that is the Atman. But because of different individuals, so there is only one Chetana, that is the Atman. All other individuals or all other entities which are existing in this world are nothing but the parts of the Chetana. So he says that if all these entities, they are united together, and if this Chetana is evoked, definitely this particular individual will be able to merge with the God. That is his philosophy. And he also says that Satya Swarupa in Manasa. So he always says, if you start meditation, then you will be able to find out yourself, reality. That is to what you are, what are you, and what you want to do. So you would be able to know your satya, your reality, if you start meditation. And he also says that the pranic energy, that is the life and the body. So if one wants to be aware of who he is, why he is born, and if he wants to realize his atma, he should start meditation. And with the help of this meditation, not only mind, prana, that is the life, and body, all these three will form the chetana, which will help us to reach to the supremacy. In psychological terms, he says that this is the Vedatmaka Chetana. Vedatmaka in the sense, Veda means difference. So the original Chetana is nothing but the supremacy, and we are all nothing but the parts of that Chetana, Vedatmaka Chetana. We are kept away from the main Chetana, and once we have Atma Swarupa, then we can go and join with the original Chetana. That is his concept in very brief. So if a question arises about the Chetana and Vedatmaka Chetana, who has given this concept, you should remember Sir Aurobindo. No need to remember the birth dates and all, but what is his concepts you need to understand. And there is a book which was written by Sir Aurobindo, which is known as Integral Yoga. This is also one important bit. Who has found Integral Yoga? Integral Yoga is nothing but Sir Aurobindo Ghosh, and he has written 68 books in different spheres of spirituality, in different ways, in different themes. Also, he has written 68 books. One of his best publication was the Life Divine, and it was upon the theoretical aspects of yoga. And another book was the Synthesis of Yoga. This is also a very important book. This Synthesis of Yoga, it deals about the practical aspects of yoga, whereas the Life Defined, it focuses on the theoretical aspects of yoga. As I said, Aurobindo Ashram is located in Pondicherry. It is also known as Integral Yoga. So Integral Yoga in the sense Aurobindo Ashram. And the main theme of this Aurobindo Ashram or Auroville is spirit of universal brotherhood. That means everyone is brother. I mean, we should treat each one of us as a brothers and sisters. Now let's move on to the next legendary, Swami Vivekananda. I think each one of you in their school life or in their college life, you might have gone through this great personality one way or the other. Usually in our schools and in our colleges on January 12th, we celebrate this National Youth Day in the name of Swami Vivekananda ji. And also if you have studied in VYASA, convocation usually happens on January 12th. That is on the birthday of Swami Vivekananda, they give due respect to him. And Swami Vivekananda has written so many books, not in one aspect, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga, Raja Yoga. So many aspects Swami Vivekananda was very much influenced by this yogic principle, and he has propagated in which we can't even imagine. So if Swami Vivekananda has gone to Chicago, and if he has given his wisdom and knowledge, if he has peace, that's because of yoga. So let's see where was Swami Vivekananda was born. He was born in 12th January 1863 in Calcutta. It was a Kayastha family, and we all know his father name was Narendra Datta. His childhood name was Narendra Datta. His father was Vishwanath Datta. He was a famous lawyer in Calcutta High Court. He was highly influenced by the English culture when he was very in his childhood. He and his father wanted Narendra should also follow his footprints. So he wanted to make Narendra as a big barrister, famous barrister. So Narendra's mother was Bhuvaneshwari Devi. Contrast to his father, Bhuvaneshwari Devi, she was always concentrating on Hinduism and how to follow dharma, how to follow artha. So she used to always think about God. She used to tell about God and what is necessary, what are the scriptures, and why do we need to read the scriptures. She used to spend all the time in the worship of Lord Shiva. In the influence of her mother, Swami Vivekananda used to have desire to meet the God. He used to recite all the shlokas which are present in the scriptures, and he also used to go to Brahma Samaj after influenced by his mother, because he was reading many scriptures. He wanted to find out who is God, how to meet God. So he went to Brahma Samaj to find out. He was so curious. As a student, we are always curious to know what is happening. We get fascinated by the stories, we get fascinated by the teachings that one or the other out of 10 or 100 students, they want to know what is next step, what I need to do, how to reach there. So in this quest, he used to go to Brahmaswamaj, but he was not satisfied by their teachings. Then he determined to promote Vedanta, the philosophy, and yoga in the West. So this is just, you have to grow from the inside out. No one can teach you. No one can make you spiritual. There is no other teacher but your own soul, their own soul. This is a saying from Swami Vivekananda where he says that it is not that we will be listening by some other's words or by some other teacher will come and teach you to become spiritual. It is not like that. We should have that burning desire. If that burning desire is not there, we won't be able to travel on this spiritual path. Because he was having that quest to know God, he has gone through all the books and he started propagating Vedanta. So Swami Vivekananda, he was a social reformer who wanted to uplift yoga in the Western world through discussion and lectures. He was also known as a socio-spiritual leader. He was a great exponent of yoga. That means a person who follows yoga. He firmly believes that yoga would transform a person. He stressed upon the theory that how negative thoughts could be eliminated out psychologically, physiologically, and emotional balance. That means he believed that if we follow yogic practices, all the negative thoughts which are present in your mind, that could be transformed. That means we could remove all the depression, anxiety. Negative thoughts are nothing but we will be always thinking after a particular action that why it is happening to me, why not to others. So that negative thoughts should be removed. If negative thoughts are so if we are having too many negative thoughts, that is a chinta. If there is too much chinta in our mind, we won't be able to step ahead. So he firmly believes that whatever it is, whether it is a psychological problem or it is a psychological in the sense mind problems, physiological in the sense body problems, and emotional balance is nothing but the mental problems. All these problems could be solved with the help of yogic practices. So he has written many books and he has done study on so many streams of yoga. So all the 4 streams, Raja Yoga, Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, and Jnana Yoga, he has done so much work on all these 4 streams of yoga. And he has given publications on all these 4. And also he has given so many lectures on Jnana Yoga. He also addressed the yogic philosophy, Bhakti Yoga, all those 4 things, 4 streams he has done too much work on. And he used to say that his entire life is dedicated to his Gurudev, that is Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. So who is the Guru of Swami Vivekananda means Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, and he thinks that the body of his Guruji, that is Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, he is the only person who can solve all his problems. So if Swami Vivekananda is having any illness or any problem, he used to think that if he goes and sits near Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, all his problems will be solved. And people used to say that he is a very great visionary in the sense a person who thinks ahead in the sense today it is 2024. I am just visioning myself that in 2040 the entire world will be changed. So thinking ahead what would happen and what is necessary in 2040, he would be thinking now itself. He plans accordingly. So he makes ready himself, not only himself and the other people, to ready for the next future. So in the coming days, how I should be able to, how I should prepare my people for the coming future. So he's a great visionary. He visualized the society which does not have any differences among the people in the name of caste and creed. He used to think that all people are same. We should not create any differences in the name of caste, creed, religion, etc. And he thinks that there should not be any nuisances in the sense thin lines between materialism and spiritualism. At one point of time, if you can think materialism or spiritualism are together, that is where we can create the equality. Materialism and spiritualism equality in the sense, you should not go behind earning money, and at the same time you should not go only on spirituality. At one time these two areas should be merged. That is where equality could be created. And he thinks and this is only one thing, a unique thing which he has thought. And he also says that this equality we can maintain only with the help of Jnana Yoga. That is intellectual concept. A person should be intellectually good to follow this equality. He has very high expectations from the youth. So he always used to give powerful lectures so that he can create motivation in the youth so that they will create the society which he has visioned. And on the concept of Raja Yoga, he explained many points in detail. For example, he says that all the orthodox systems. So we have gone through orthodox systems and heterodox systems. If you have listened, orthodox systems are nothing but the people who follow or who believe the authority of Vedas. If you recall the class which I have taken, orthodox systems are nothing but people or the sect of individuals who believe the authority of Vedas. So he says that all the orthodox systems of Indian philosophy, they have only one goal in the view. Whichever system you take, the 6 Shad Darsanas, all the 6 Darsanas, they have only one goal. The goal is nothing but liberation of soul. What is that? Liberation of soul, nothing but nirvana. It is through perfection. Perfection of what? Of our senses. And this could be possible only by yoga. He says this is possible only by yoga. And the word yoga, it is not a simple word. We said yoga means union. The union itself is a lot. There is so much meaning behind the particular word yoga. So it covers an immense ground, but both the Sankhya and Vedanta school's point of yoga in some form or the other. That means he says liberation of soul through perfection. And this is possible only if that person is having a good foundation on the Sankhya Yoga philosophy and also the Vedanta schools philosophy. So Vedanta, Veda plus Anta Vedanta, that is Upanishads. So Vedanta school of philosophy is nothing but Upanishads. If you have a strong foundation on Upanishadic teachings as well as the Sankhya Yoga, you can understand that liberation of soul is only possible when you go through dualities. When you win the dualities, then you can go for liberation, that is nirvana or moksha. And in the same context, he says that the whole world is made up of 2 elements, that is Kai and Prana. And this prana is nothing but the form of muscle energy flow. And it helps for the intellectual activities and also the activities which our body energy needs. That is, it is only the prana which helps in all the functionalities of the body. And if a person wants to know the real nature of prana, he should start practicing pranayama. So if he gets a good hang of pranayama, how to practice pranayama, how to hold his breath, how to control his breath, how to extend his breath, how to shorten his breath, then he will gain infinite power. So in this same context, during Hatha Yoga, we have told that pranayama, that is Rechaka Puraka Kumbhaka. So a person who knows how to do pranayama perfectly, and once he achieves this nadi shuddhi with the help of this pranayama, he can attain ashtasiddhis. So again, these ashtasiddhis are 8 powers where anima, mahima, lagima, I think this will come again in one of your class. So there are 8 powers where a sadhaka, by practicing pranayama, he can gain that super powers. With the help of these powers, a sadhu, that is a sadhaka who has gained these, he can be present all over the world. He can know if one person goes nearest to that guru, he would be able to understand why this person has come to me, what is his thoughts, and at the same time, this Guruji's reflection or this Guruji could be present in 7 or 8 places at a particular time at the same time, and he would be able to become too long. He would be able to make his body structure very small also. Like if you have seen a Hanuman can become too big, and at the same time he can also become too small. So these kind of energies or these kind of powers would be possible if you start understanding pranayama and if you start practicing it. But it requires a lot of practice. You should be able to practice. So he says, one who gets control on prana, he gets control on all kinds of physical and mental energies. So pranayama is very, so once you are expert in asanas, that means once you have gained the physical stability, the next step is to gain the pranic stability. This is possible with the help of pranayama. And also in the context of karma yoga, he says that the nature is composed of three forces. We have gone through sattva, rajas, and tamas. Okay, trigunas. Here it says three forces. In the physical world, we may call these three as equilibrium. So sattva is nothing but equilibrium. Rajas is activity. Tamas is inertness. So we can't find a single. See, this for some people, sattva will be more at one point. In few people, rajas will be more. In few people, tamas will be more. In every man, these three forces exist. Each and every person, these three forces will be there. Sattva, rajas, and tamas. So he says sometimes tamas prevails and sometimes rajas, and at sometimes sattva will be there. So in karma yoga, the person should be able to have an equilibrium of all these three things. Then only he will be able to do good karmas. So this is what he told in karma yoga. And he also says that it is not that we only need to follow karma yoga, we only need to follow jnana yoga, raja yoga. All these four streams of yoga are important. You can't simply say that I will only follow karma yoga, I will only follow jnana yoga. So you need to follow all these three in combinations to have that self-liberation. So he says the different individual characters and different people, men and women, they have natural variations in their creation itself. No, each one of us unique. Even 5 fingers are different, right? So every person is different. Every person has their unique character and unique personality. So we can't judge them on one particular standard, saying that this is my standard. If this standard, I am going to measure this person. If he's having that standard, he is divine. If he is not having this standard, he is not divine. We can't compare on some basic standard. Everyone is different. So it is essentially to have standards and ideas for right actions and duties. So you try to have standards on what is right and what is wrong. Which action is right, which action is wrong. What is the duty a person should do in a particular situation, that we should be able to construct, but not based upon their individual characters and measuring them. And also in the context of Bhakti Yoga, he says that projecting Bhakti is the ultimate love form. So everyone needs to show Bhakti. Everyone needs to worship God in one way or the other. So he has gone through Narada Bhakti Sutras. If you have done your MSc Yoga or VYASA, you might have gone through this Narada Bhakti Sutras. So he has gone through this Narada Bhakti Sutras, and then he translated in English, and he says that you should be able to project Bhakti, which is nothing but the ultimate love form. So when you are loving your other brothers and sisters, when you are loving the entire universe, when you are loving your entire neighborhood, so you should be able to project that Bhakti, show that Bhakti, so that you are in harmony and the entire world is in harmony. And Swamiji has also said, all philosophers, whoever it is, there are so many philosophers we have seen, they have anonymously accepted 3 things. They say God is there and God is only one. This has been considered in Vedas also, and whoever is created, that is the creation of God. So he says all philosophers have agreed that there is only one single force, and that single force is God. There is only one force, and this has been accepted by everyone, and the creation is possible only because of him. And he has seen that most parts of the Vedas are unavailable, and some of the scriptures related to Brahmanas, Arenkas were also destroyed. So what he understood was, leave about the Brahmanas, leave about the Arenkas, leave about the other books which are not present, which are not available, but at least Vedanta is available. That is the end of Vedas. That is the ultimate wisdom part of the Vedas. He says Vedanta is the ultimate wisdom. So no need to search for any other books, just follow the Vedanta. So Vedanta is nothing but the Upanishads which we have followed. So Vedanta is the religious text of the Hindus. So that is the end of Swami Vivekananda. Here few points is Swami Vivekananda has given discourses on all 4 streams of yoga, and he has emphasized on Vedanta, that you need to remember.